Hey, what's up YouTube? What's going on? Um, Today's topic is those textures of hairs and how they're used and what's going on with them. Some people, pretty much most people, we all have 3 to 4 different textures, and what I like to call them is front, middle, back, and side. With those textures, because of the different combing techniques and how we pretty much style our hair ourselves and the things that we do on our own, plus the styling, plus your stylist and how you sleep, that pretty much depicts your texture. Like in the front gets most of the combing. It gets most of the maintenance. The sides get most of the pulling. So those sides are going to be straighter. The front is going to be a little more manageable. The middle is where you're going to have all of that flexibility in your bicep, because that's where you're going to do most of your combing, and your back. For those that are locking, that back and that middle is what's going to take first, and your front is what probably is going to be that last piece of hair or that last part of your head to catch up. So what I like to do for those, I make sure that I start in the back, because my back is going to be my hardest part to work with, my back and my crown. And I style from that way going forward for a number of reasons. One, if I'm doing like a twist out or some locks, by the time I get to the front of the hair is going to mostly be dry. And that hair is going to be a little more resistant to what I'm trying to do. Where in the back, that hair is still wet and it's going to work with me a lot easier than I would when I get up front. So with that, I just have to understand that I can't do too much pulling to the back. I can't comb too hard. I need to have all of my essential products here so that when I'm combing through, I'm not killing the person, at all. Each client gets that deep condition that's going to start breaking down those curls anyway. A lot of times when you have those hairs that you just can't get through, sometimes those ends need to be trimmed as well. So that can cause another issue for the middle being so tight and the back being tight. For those that really don't get the ends trimmed, that don't really go to someone and let someone comb through all the way out. Plus you have shedding hairs that gets in there. So for those that have afros and don't really comb through the afro every day, each day you have about 100 shedded hairs in there. So that can also make a difficult situation when trying to comb through, especially if it's dry already. The scalp is normally dry and the hairs are normally dry. That's going to be hell trying to get your little bitty tooth comb to comb that through and comb that out without you killing and hurting yourself. So that's to be understood. But you have to be very knowledgeable to these products that you're using. Finger coiling and brown gel don't mix. I really wouldn't use those two products together. Firstly, finger coiling. Finger coiling is you just taking your hand and just wrapping the hair around your finger. One thing you're not doing is putting the hair in a uniform factor. The hair is not going together and working together. The hair is just all over the place, resistantly being forced into this little coil. Now over time, that coil is going to blow up because you have so many hairs just going in there doing whatever they want to do, versus taking a comb and making those coils uniform. That's why it's so easy for me to take my coils out and do what I call a fingering technique to the finished coil, not to put the coil into place. And then to bring out a finished coil, I would never use a gel-like substance, because that is not going to give my coil that consistent look that will be necessary. So those two things I would never ever 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 do together. If I'm going to finger a hairstyle, I would only use a spray, because the spray would actually get through that whole entire set of hairs that you've already working with there, and it will go together easier than you using a gel product. A gel-based product, after a while, it's going to dry. It's going to tighten and it's going to flake after a period of time. So that's not going to be a part of the style that you want to look for. So you have to be mindful of that. So use your combs, because your combs, excuse me, your combs are very necessary. They get you where you need to be, especially with natural hair. You got to comb through this hair. Yes, sometimes I know it may hurt, but once you get the routine and the regimen of combing your hair with the right things, it'll be just fine. Now with this young lady, my love got some strong hair, but it's good though. That's good for a number of reasons, because the hair is strong enough for me to go ahead and start combing through so that her hair would be more manageable to what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish, which she likes to get up and go. So get up and go, easy easy management is what we're trying to achieve. So in this one, I start off by doing a deep condition, and then I put in my Silk Essentials oil, which allows me to go through that hair a lot easier and comb through it. If I didn't put that in here, I'd be raking at her head all day long, and that's just going to damage follicles, that's going to pull hairs out, that's going to break hairs, and that's going to do other things that are very detrimental to, excuse me, my old-fashioned phrase, taking her right out the game. Excuse me, and that's not where we're going, that's not really what we're trying to do. So, use a good silkening oil, not too much now. Use a good oil, use your sprays, and comb through those hairs, and hold on to them while you comb onto them. But you see, I'm coming through this a million times because I want to make sure that once I start twisting, I don't have any drawbacks. Also, another thing that I don't see a number of people do, clean out that comb. Don't let those hairs stay in that comb every single time, because that's another thing that will make those hairs harder to comb through. The dead hairs in the comb will keep making that tangle up real easily, really easily. So make sure you take those out every single time you get through. And after doing this a number of times, all of these things will become a natural routine for you, and you'll be able to do this hands down. Just knock the whole head straight out. Another thing I want to talk about really quickly is Harmony Renee. I think that's how you pronounce your name. But the best thing for you after reading your story and what's going on in your head, I think it's best for you to start over. A lot of times we don't want to alleviate that time. We don't want to throw time away, and we say, yes, I've been doing this and I don't want to go back. But I feel like if you go back and do it again, you would actually be in a better position. Right now you're going to be forcing things to work, and after a period of time, that's when it's going to work. But right now you're going to have the hair that you want to have. So in your situation, I wrote down a number of things. The reason why the best choice would be for you is because of your parting, because of the products that you're using, the technique, and the possibility of a buildup. We don't want any of those things. So make sure, my mom was calling. So make sure that you are, when you're getting these done, you're not just trying to rush in for the length. And you're not just trying to rush in to get them done. You're actually getting them done by someone that knows how to get your hair to grow, because your hair will grow. Real talk, your hair will grow, and if you start your locks today, even from this length, I guarantee you in year one, your locks should be below your ears, right at your neck, available for a style, available for a ponytail, and all of those things. If it's taking you 6 months or longer to lock, you're using the wrong things, because that hair is going to lock regardless whether you want it to or not at times. So just use things that are more beneficial and healthy for the hair versus stuff that just say locking, wax, hold gel, resistant stuff, great adjectives, so that once you put in the game, you can stay, you can last, the locks and the hair will be versatile, it will have longevity, and it will be professional to where you can go anywhere without wearing that do-rag. It's another thing I want to talk about. Folks that get their locks started wear do-rags all day, every day. I don't see why, but I do understand why, but I don't see why you have to. I understand why you do, because you don't want that dirt look. You don't want everybody to see that this is what's going on in your head, and every time you go back, your stylists never clean them, they just add more products on top of that. So you're caked up now, your hair looks white, you probably got a build up, you have all these other things, so you just keep this thing on. No, 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 no. What will be more beneficial for you is take that off. Allow your hair to breathe, but make sure that your stylist knows what they're doing, what they're offering, and what they're putting in your head. And all of those just caked up waxes and gels and all of that, that ain't going to get you. That's going to hold you a coil. That's going to get you a mirror, and you're going to say, yes, I like the way this looks. But when it's time for you to come back for maintenance, or when it's time for something to go on, you beating the crap out of your head, trying to figure out how to stop this from itching. And then the lovely folks at Walmart and other places made little anti-itch gels and oils for you. So that goes into the scalp. That's another chemical or oil on top of the stuff you already had without cleaning. Then you're sweating because you got this thing on all day long. You see where I'm going here? No go. It is not going to work. So allow your hair to breathe. Allow your scalp to breathe. Use the right products and oils so that you can breathe all together. Your scalp is where you achieve many levels of oxygen. And when that oxygen is cut off, those hairs will be cut off. They will fall off on their own. Locks or no locks. It doesn't matter. It will let go. So make sure that you are implementing those things. And take off the do-rag so that it doesn't hurt you in the long run. Aim to just to have to walk down the street trying to color coordinate to your do-rag. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you know, hey, by all means, help yourself. But I'm sure that many of you, like the one email I got you to get out of your do-rag because you've been waiting for 5 months. So work on that, figure that out, ask more questions on that level if you need to. I'm more than grateful to assist the situation. Another thing somebody asked me was the reality lock video. They wanted to know her regimen. Her regimen, after I talked to her, was pretty much the same as mine. She consistently shampooed. She consistently oiled, moisturized, put in the right things. She's very adamant about finding the right stylist and making sure that the stylist was going to put the right things in her head. Because when she sat down, my girl knew what she wanted. She asked me all kind of questions. And I had no problem answering them because I knew that she was on the right road. And the question she was asking me wasn't just, give me a discount, or how can I make this less than what you really charge, or can I get something longer, or can I get something done and you just, you know, I pay you the next time. It was more of, well, I know I got to pay, and I know this is what I need, but tell me what you use, tell me what you have. And I respected that. I thought that was very decent and very, very professional and very ladylike for a person that this is your head, this is your body. So that was pretty much what she did. Just oiled, moisturized, conditioned, shampooed, kept it clean, kept it going, and kept it working. And that's the same thing I can advise for you guys. Keep it clean, keep it moisturized, keep it oiled, and I don't mean glossy. You don't have to use a glosser. Use a oil and make it work. That's pretty much it. I think that was all that I wanted to touch bases on right now. For you guys, I thought that was those things were very important. You would know that you need to work with your hair as well as you work with yourself. Use the right tools instead of just fly-by-night items that you find on the shelf. And use the right products so that in longevity you can have what you need. So more comments, thoughts, concerns, you can hit me up on my email. And for those of you that want to know how to directly contact me, I'll give you the number right now. It's 713-320-8520. Again, 713-320-8520, or Google HoustonNaturalHair.com. Peace.